It's just like, yeah, we were probably overthinking that, but it's like, hey, given what I just did, like,
Yeah.
anything's possible. You
Yeah.
never know. Especially because Maurice, if you remember, is the guy who got pinned for, yeah, he was working that morning. And he was working at 6 a.m., which was before I clocked out. So he would have been my lead suspect, but just a bad sensor. Well, yeah, I went to, yeah, he also said in the text message that I would need to make an appointment with HR as well as security to go pick up my last check since I'm technically 86th and blah, blah, blah. I went there today, didn't even make an appointment with anybody, didn't, I just showed up by surprise. Not only that, but I parked in the employee of the month spot because I think I've earned it. Walked into HR and was like, I'm here for my last check, and handed over like not the office key, but like the keys that they were expecting, just shit that, I don't need, and like my work ID, and they started to hand over the check, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like the amount of that. That's not correct. I'm going to try to cheat my way. Like, it's very obvious that I was going out with a bang. It's very obvious that like I know I'm leaving this place, but I didn't actually officially tell anybody I quit, and that's why I didn't get my vacation pay. But I'm going to try my hardest to tell HR that I did. That way I can try to get that extra $600 worth of vacation pay. And if not, whatever. Whoops. Can't change the past. But I just told him, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow to talk to your boss, the person who could potentially correct this about getting my vacation pay, but you hold on to this check for now. I'll be back tomorrow. Like, 86 me. Pfft, sure, okay. And, yeah, I guess that's about it.
See, when you came in, the first, well, I mean, of course, you have a great way of saying it. Hey, you can't borrow my laptop anymore. Why not? Because I'm an 86 from the premises. Tell me you're registered on site of the place I used to work at. Holy fuck, what did you do? You wouldn't think that it would be something like that. Like, I didn't think that. I was like, holy shit, did he, like, fucking stage a murder? Like, what the fuck happened? But no, I mean, that's the funny thing is that it's that fucking simple, and it just.
It's so simple of an idea, and I think I told you before that I was going to do something like that.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, well, I think I told you once. I told Jared once. I told Cody multiple times. And even in my head, I'm like, oh, such a simple execution. But the shit I caused. Like, I mean, just hours and hours of wait times. A lot of angry clientele. Like, I'm not too sure about this. But, this might be a little egotistical for me to claim. But I want to say that what I did that morning was so bad that not only did it just light a fire on my department itself, but I think the entire casino resort as a whole may have felt a slight little burn. Because on my way out the door, one day I was like going through this wardrobe tunnel that like leads out to one of the exits. It's like an employee entrance and exit. The new owners have placed like stat pages along the walls to like motivate us. Like, oh, here's your timeliness ratings. Here's your friendliness ratings of each individual department and restaurant and blah blah blah. I found the Bell and Valet one, and not only do we already have some of the lowest stats among the entire building, but it's been plummeting over the last few months. And like I said, with everything else that happened that weekend, I haven't got confirmation from Cody yet, but I can almost guarantee you it was a mission success. Greg is fired.
Dude, if he isn't, he blew the dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know this Greg guy, but he'd have to be he sounds like a pussy. But like he'd have to be a world-class ass kisser. He's probably If he didn't get fired, he begged on his fucking knees, like, this is all I have. Oh my God, I love this place. Please don't fire me. It's all I have.
Right. And that was the thing about Greg, too, about the whole underestimating me thing, because he thought that I was desperate for my job. Yeah, it was the best job I've ever had. Yeah,
in the terms of not having to do shit and getting paid for it.
Of course, absolutely. And people that I worked with, and yeah, ease and convenience. I mean, all that. It was easily the best job I've ever had, and I didn't want to leave it as early as I did. I would have loved, most ideal situation. I would have liked to coast on it until at least I finished school. So at least for the next, like, a whole 1 year from now. But, I'm not stupid. I'm not just going to hope, because for an entire week, I even told that to Cody. It's like, hey man, I was a top-notch employee for an entire week. And he was just like, I want you to think about what you just said. But I tried to salvage my job the legitimate way. I tried to get on Greg's good side. I tried to step up and actually be a top-notch worker. And he still put a target on my back. So and then I heard about him hiring the new valet people, and I was just like, all right. I mean, there's no there's no saving my job, and I'm not letting myself just be fired and walk away. I need to walk out
on top.
Exactly. I need to walk out on top, and I need to leave them with something to remember me by. And god damn it, I think I did.
If he did, whether he got fired or not, and he fucking better have.
I say so.
Whether he got fired or not, he's gonna go, man. Maybe he'll think twice before he underestimates somebody.
Exactly. At the very least.
Unless he's really fucking stupid. Because people don't like to learn lessons nowadays.
Oh, no.
They really fucking don't.
Especially nowadays, more than ever.
No. Yeah. They just want to fucking blame it on whoever. Like, oh, that was just one bad apple. And they won't reflect on themselves as how big of a piece of shit they are. I like you. Have you ever seen that movie Escape Plan? It's a Sylvester Stallone movie.
No.
Okay, well, it reminds me of it. Okay, so in this movie, he plays this dude. His entire job, it starts in a prison and he escapes the prison.
Okay.
You're like, wait, what the fuck? And it turns out that this is his job.
Oh, okay. I've heard about this.
Okay, yeah. So then they end up putting him on they're like, oh yeah, well, this is a secret this is the most, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Then they put him on a prison boat, and he eventually escapes that one too, but it takes the whole entire fucking movie. Anyway, his entire job is to break out of prisons to show people, he's super fucking smart, to show the warden how to beef up their security. I feel like you could do that at other places. Like, I want you to get a job where Christina works now and get her Greg fired. Because he is a fucking douchebag.
I couldn't help but just walk away from the whole thing going, I got this guy fired House of Cards style. And that makes me so fucking proud. Because I told Cody, even before I thought about this whole plan and everything,
You mean like the show or just figuratively House of Cards?
I like the show, yeah.
Okay. I never finished that show. And nobody did.
Me neither, yeah. They're actually they're doing a 5th season. I don't know if it's with Kevin Spacey or not.
Okay.
But yeah, I was telling Cody, my number one mission, whether I'm fired or whether I quit, is to get Greg fired. And I would have loved to say that he technically got fired before me, but that wasn't the case. I think he's still technically on the... Like I said, I haven't got confirmation from Cody, what's happened upstairs on the executive level for this whole situation yet. But when I went into the office that night, after I very childishly, defiantly, hey, I'm 86th, but here I am. I went into the office. That was the first thing I did, and there was paperwork all over the desk with saying lost keys this, lost keys that, make up for that guy this, and just notes everywhere. So there is some severe financial compensation happening between the damaged car, the damaged property, the 2 totaled cars, and what I did. Like, that department is just a fucking shit show. Like we keep saying, Greg has to be fired. And if not, the only thing that I could have done better is
you critiquing your work.
yeah, the only thing I could have done better is that I did all of this under the camera. It's like I thought about it later how I could have done it way smarter. It would have taken more time, but and I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's just do it right here. I'm leaving in the morning anyway. So that's one thing I could think of, like him being able to somehow salvage his job. Like he'll show the surveillance tapes to this Mike guy and be like, look, this guy specifically sabotaged us. I mean, Mike is still going to give him shits like, well, he was still your responsibility. He's still your worker, blah, blah, blah. How could you let this happen? Obviously, like, he did this for a reason. But it's still like they have hard evidence that I very purposefully sabotaged that shit. And if I had just been a little more inconspicuous, I mean, they would still know it was me, but without that hard evidence to show to the executives, there would be no doubt at all he'd be fired.
I keep picturing in my head, 9/11.
Yeah.
You know that one thing that happened that one time where I think a plane flew into a building or something, and the building fell.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about something like that.
Something like that. Well, then there was a building next to him that fell out of nowhere with nothing happening, and just like, fuck it, the building fell. It was called Building 7 or some shit.
That's weird. How would if nothing hit that second?
They were all demolished, but people don't want to think
Oh,
that.
right.
That's what I do remember. I think there was one or like 2 planes or 3 planes or some shit.
Oh, yeah, then and wait a minute. I think I did hear about that because another plane allegedly went into this other building, but it actually just flew right over it, and they actually evacuated everybody before.
I didn't hear about that at all.
It was a 5-sided building. What do they call that thing?
What's a Pentagon?
Yeah.
Was it the Pentagon?
Yeah, the Pentagon. Yeah, they evacuated everybody before the plane was supposed to hit, and then yeah.
The plane is a fucking missile, just to stop this act, because everybody knows what 9/11 is.
Fucking torpedo.
But yeah, the 2 buildings were demolished because a plane would never melt. Like, people still believe that a plane would melt. Jet fuel would melt the beams at the bottom of a building. However, 30 stories down or whatever the fuck it was, because people are stupid.
Right.
People have tried to argue with me with this. I'm like, no, you're an idiot. Like, I don't need to be a scientist to know that wouldn't fucking happen. Anyway, those 2 buildings were demolished, pancake style, like they are with other buildings. And then Building 7 was just like, they just did it like, fuck it, we might as well do it, because they couldn't fly a plane that low or some shit, I don't know. It just happened out of nowhere. No explanation, not on the news. Anyway, for some weird reason, I keep thinking Empire, you did some damage. I keep picturing Building 7 going down. Like, yeah, you didn't fucking crush the casino, but that would be even better. But
right.
The fact that it's a casino just makes it better.
I really hope that like I said, it may be a bit too big of me to think this way, but I really think that not only did I fuck up my department, but I feel like even on the executive level, like even the owners might catch just a slight wind of this, like, oh yeah, did you hear about what happened with Valet the other day, blah blah blah. And if they do, that enough, even if Greg isn't fired, even if the main owner himself catches wind of my story that I single-handedly did, I mean, goddamn, that's worth it.
Dude, it doesn't even seem that hard to do.
Right, it's such a simple execution, but like I said, it's such a simple execution, but actually, when you're fucking living it, God, dude, I got a message just at 7:10 from Eric saying it's already begun. 8 of these people have already showed up, of the people of the 70 that you've switched, and shit is already so fucked. And that was just at 7 a.m., let alone...
That was 10 minutes after you left.
Exactly. Dude, I felt... This is also big of me, but I couldn't help but feel like a person who just lit a whole fucking building on fire, or lit it, like, doused it in gasoline, and then just threw the match, and like an action hero, didn't even fucking watch the explosion happen as I walked out.
But you got your sunglasses on.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
I just fucking threw the match behind me, nodded to my supervisor as he walked in, and drove off.
Jesus fucking... I don't know, man. People underestimate people. It's funny because something... I mean, it's not even to the same magnitude. But it's kind of weird, actually. So, not last Friday, but the Friday before that, the 6th. The all of lumber called out because
That's fucked.
they don't like their supervisor, and because he's I don't know exactly what he's doing. He's kind of a douche.
You said in lumber?
Yeah.
So it was like a lumber ditch day?
Everybody but one person called out, and I think he just didn't call out because he didn't get the memo. Or he was an ex-Marine, so he's like, no, I gotta be like honorable or whatever. And he's a pretty chill dude, actually. So he wasn't being a douche about it if he didn't call out. But the entire department called out, and the only critique that they really got was, if you're gonna do something like that, do it on a day your supervisor works, you idiots. Which they didn't do.
Yeah.
And then our store manager, in our meeting on Wednesday, Freight has a meeting once a month. And he was like, oh yeah, all of lumber called out on Friday. Like, he wrote it off like everybody was just just a coincidence. Instead of like, yeah, there's something going on in lumber. You fucking jackasses.
Dumb. That's what I hope Greg and anybody analyzing the situation just ultimately takes out of the experience. Is like, be kind. Because Greg was... I mean, he was kind to me-ish, but he was fake about it, which leads me to my second thing. It's be kind, be real, and I could have sworn I had 4 things when I was repeating it to myself at home. But yeah, be kind, be real, and don't underestimate anyone.
I underestimate people. But that's because they come off like fucking idiots.
Right.
And it sucks
like,
because I feel like a snob a lot. I just think about that. I don't know. I was thinking about that last night. Is like I probably come off like a slob, a slob. Well, that too, but a snob.
A slobby snob.
Yeah. There's these new people at work. There's this one guy who comes off super dumb, and he just, I don't know, man. He just kind of, he's one of those people that he wants to talk to you, so he says nice shit, and us, super skeptical, nice people. It's like, what the fuck do you want from me, man? And he might just try to be nice, like that could be his entire thing, but he just seems super dumb to me, and I just don't talk to him very much. Because I'm always in my head, I'm thinking of music or whatever the fuck I'm thinking of.
Right.
So he goes, oh, hey, Sean, you want this? I was like, no, man, I'm good. Or like, I got this already. Like, I don't want to talk to him because I'm in my fucking head.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that, because to Aaron, who I've known for the longest there now, I'm like, Bones, whatever. I'm being fucking weird. And all these other people see this Sean, and like, why don't I get that Sean? Or something like that. Like, not like they're clamoring for it.
Right.
But they see that, and then they compare it to the situation where I'm just super monotone and, no, I got it, man. Like,
Two different worlds.
Yeah, so I think I come off super snobby, and I'm like, I'm not snobby at all. I'm just in my head all the time.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, they're super dumb. I don't want to talk to them anyway. And then I feel like a snob, and I think that shit.
Yeah, perspective. That's why we talk to people, I guess. Fucking, I don't know. I walked in with a ninja mask, too. Like, just in case security actually caught on to me being there. It's like, or they were surveilling it at the exact time that I was walking in. I just like, well, can't give you hard evidence that I'm here. So, like, I had my balaclava and I was dressed all in black. I also, you know, had some weapons on me because I ain't going to jail. But it didn't have to come to that. I brought one with me as I walked into HR today too, just in case. But it didn't come to that.